everyone, and welcome to another unboxing video. Today we'll be unboxing 3 models as shown here, and it'll be very exciting. So these are all models I just got recently, and well, might as well do an unboxing video. Before we get into the models, we do have this. Move these out of the way. This is a United Airlines hangar made out of a shoebox. So for those who don't know, for those who haven't noticed, I haven't shown it that much, but at my MSP airport, there is a hangar that is very similar to this in size, style, and everything, with Delta logos plastered all over it. It has some retro Delta logos as well, so that's kind of cool. But I commissioned my grandpa, who made that one and an American Airlines version, to make a United Airlines version. So here's the United Airlines hangar. It has this style of door, which really isn't present on most hangars these days, at least at international airports. It's more like a GA hangar, I suppose, in terms of that style, but still it looks really nice, painted all gray, and while it does have a working door, you can put models inside and such. And it was free, so that's nice. So yeah, I mean, if you just have some leftover gray paint, printer to print out the little decals, and I guess a shoebox, you can carve it up into one of these. So cool build there, and it will go someplace in the near future. You will see where that will be in some upcoming videos, but now we'll get into the unboxing of the models, because that's what you're all really here to see. So we'll start with this American Airlines A319 here. It's a brand new release by Gemini Jets with the sharklets on it. With the flap here, you can see the aircraft info. There's the model inside. Pretty standard Gemini box here, which houses the American Airlines Airbus A319. Alright, and now in this beautiful lighting, here is the American Airlines A319. We'll get the view going here with this screwdriver that I found, so why not? We have the cockpit windows up here. We have the L1 boarding door and the little One World emblem right there. Here's the Eagle and the American Airlines billboard titles right there. The overwing exit and exit paths, as you can very well see. Here is the CFM engine that looks like a Neo engine. We can compare with the Frontier A320 Neo later on in the video. Here is the sharklet, of course. I prefer a fence tip version, but I'm just happy with an American A319 and the regular livery. As you know, I've been using the America West Heritage livery for so long. It is kind of windy outside. I'm getting the good natural light from the window, which is making the lighting quality a little bit better, but we also have trees right outside, and that's making really weird shadows here when the wind blows, but disregard that. Here we have the little SATCOM dome, and we have the antennae, of course, up there. Registration on this one is November 93003, and it's a little American flag right there, and of course the big American flag for the tail. So yeah, pretty nice model here. Nothing too wrong with it, I would say. It rolls decently. It's not great at rolling, but it can roll a little bit. The nose gear had some interesting rubber on it. The rubber isn't too consistent on the nose gear, but that's not really that big of an issue. It doesn't bother me too much. On the side of the aircraft, pretty much the same thing, except we have the luggage doors down there. And also we have the Gemini Jet logo on the bottom there, stand hole, little beacon, no antennae on the bottom. Yeah, that'll do it for the review of the American A319 with sharklets. Nothing much more to go over on this one. But a very nice model here by Gemini Jets, and I'm sure that'll be used a lot in the future airport updates. Next model here, we have the NG model Eurowings Discover A330-200. So yeah, as you may know, Eurowings Discover flies to RSW, Fort Myers, and I needed a Eurowings Discover model to fulfill that. So this was my opportunity here. Got this one defective, but I got it for a cheaper price. So you know it's all worth it. There's a box art looking very nice here. NG, of course, always does a great job with the boxes. And now we'll get the model here out of the cradle and out of the foam here. And there we go. The butter machine. So unfortunately, NG does not make their landing gear tiltable, so we can't have like super butter landings on this one, but that's perfectly fine. It's still a very high quality, very nice model here. So we'll begin up here with the cockpit windows, the little Eurowings logo down there. Of course, Eurowings is it was began by Lufthansa to try to capture some market that they weren't getting. Never really went well with Lufthansa, and now Eurowings is kind of like their own thing. But they're kind of like a subsidiary of Lufthansa. And I don't know why they add the Eurowings Discover branding, as Eurowings is already like a low-cost carrier, and I guess I feel like the Discover makes them even more of a low-cost carrier. But you know, they fly to Florida, Fort Myers, which is they're the only wide-body flights that go to Fort Myers. So I don't really know what's up with all the Discover branding, but I just need it for Fort Myers. I don't know everything about the aircraft, but it's still very cool that this goes to Fort Myers, and I'm glad to have been able to catch this small plane spotting there. So here we have the L1 door here. I don't know what that little logo is there. I don't think it's an Alliance logo. I think it might just be, I don't know what that is actually. I have no clue. It's the same color as the Discover billboard down here, but we have the Eurowings above the Discover billboard titles right there, looking very nice. And then moving further back here, we have the EU flag and then the German flag, registration Delta Alpha X-Ray Golf Bravo. And then here we have the engines down here and the landing gear, of course. No logos or anything on the engines. And then probably the most beautiful part of the plane, though, is the tail. Of course, Eurowings has a great tail design here, and looks really nice there. But other than that, not too much to go over on this one. We do have a few SATCOM domes up here, but not really anything else. This is a pretty plain plane. That's just fine. I guess this is Euro white, is what they'd call this. And here are the Eurowings logo down there, looking very nice indeed. So 2 models down, we'll now move on to the last one. Another one that I got defective, but I also got a good discount on it. It is the Frontier A320 Neo in the Poppy the Prairie Dog tail. So I'll still be looking to get Ed, Edwin, and Eddie penguins, but got this one for a good price, so why not? I got a little Poppy the Prairie Dog on there. Here's the inside of the flap. You want to read that. But we will now get into the unboxing here. So actually, before I got this up to the Minnesota Zoo, and they had some prairie dogs there, so why not get Poppy the Prairie Dog Frontier? Because prairie dogs are cute. I'll bring this one more centered up here. And we're going with a review. Here we got the cockpit windows, a little Poppy the Prairie Dog text down there. Here's the L1 boarding door. We have the giant Frontier billboard titles going across the aircraft there. We have the little blue stripe down here. And then the Neo engines, which are almost touching the ground. You can get a shot of that. They're really close to touching the ground. Of course, they're Gemini Neo engines, so that's going to happen. Because Gemini doesn't know how to make Neo engines. Their CFM engines are basically Neo engines. They should just put those in the Neo aircraft. I mean, we'll compare them later. Here we have the overwing exits and exit paths. Flyfrontier.com right there, up the stripe. And the registration right here, November 303, Foxtrot Romeo, and the American flag. And then here we have Poppy the Prairie Dog. So you may have already noticed the issue with this one, and that is it is missing antenna right there. So yeah, not too big of an issue, but I guess you can kind of see it is missing one. But hopefully we can ignore it just a little bit. Here's the bottom of the aircraft. Again, no antennae on the bottom. We have a Jet logo, stand hole there. Not too much to go over. And yeah, just the missing antenna. Not a big issue. At least to me, it's not a big issue. I mean, maybe if it was a 1-200 aircraft, then that would be not ideal. But considering it's just a 1-400 model, that doesn't bother me too much, and it is still very beautiful here. So yeah, that will conclude the review of this aircraft. We'll bring all the aircraft into a final shot here to do the closing remarks. And here, of course, we have the two engines. I'll try to get them closer together here. As you can see, CFM engine is already pretty big, and I mean, the Neo engine is practically touching the ground here, so we've said this for a long time, Gemini, but please make the Neo engines the size of the CFM and make the CFM a little bit smaller to be more realistic here, as these Neo engines are almost just, well, they're almost touching the ground. That's just not right. The CFM engines, they're also just way too big. So it would be really nice to have the CFM engines be the Neo size, because that would just be so perfect. Have the CFM engines be the Neo size, because they look awfully close to what the Neo engines look like. If I would get an A319 Neo, which does exist now, but it's not very common. I guess Panda models did one, though. I guess I could probably compare those just to see how the Panda Neo looks compared to this one. And I guess I do have a Panda 320 Neo, and I believe I'm trying to remember what it was, but I believe that the Panda Neo engines could fit inside the Gemini Neo engines. So if that's not saying something, I don't know what does. But I guess we'll head to the outro now. So I kind of forgot to do this, so now I'll head to the outro. So here are all the aircraft all together to do the closing remarks. Also, we have the hangar back there, because of course, can't forget about that. So 3 beautiful models here by both NG and Gemini jets. Also, on the model airliner forum, if you know what that is, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Maybe, at least. I began a thread with model comparisons, and I did a comparison with this NG model version and the JC Wings version. So if you want to go and check that out, go ahead and do that. And also feel free to share your own model comparisons between different molds, different manufacturers, and everything in between. So yeah, that will conclude this unboxing here. 3 beautiful models, 3 big assets here to the collection. Now I'm guessing we're probably over 170 aircraft in the collection, these recent acquisitions here. I'm not quite sure of the exact number. I'm just estimating at this point because I'm not quite sure. But that'll conclude this unboxing, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.